Rolling.
Ugh, it's been 10 minutes already. Is he really late again? Didn't he call this meeting together?
I know. It seems to be an ongoing problem. Should we say something to him when he shows up?
Yeah, I think we should, but what? This is getting really out of hand.
Hey folks. Sorry I'm late. Where are we at?
We? We are not anywhere when you are always late. This affects all of us.
This is now wasted time in my schedule. I don't even want to say what I'm feeling right now.
All right. Apologies for being late. To be honest, I don't know what you guys really want from me right now. Can we just move on and try to do the meeting?
All right, I suppose. Let's get this meeting back on track.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. This is a brief training on a helpful tool for assisting with implementing trauma-informed practices in your daily life.
We are very happy you are all here to join us in learning these powerful practices. We also appreciate you watching our brief dramatization about a late arrival to a meeting. At the end of this video, we will revisit the scenario and our team will again act out this type of incident, instead using the tool we will be exploring over the next several minutes, the S.E.L.F model.
The S.E.L.F model provides simple and accessible language for all people working towards and managing the challenges of change. This tool was developed by the Andrews Institute of New York, home to the Sanctuary Institute. It is used with their permission, but please share about this tool, but also do so with acknowledgement.
Safety, emotional management, loss, and future, or SELF, represent the four fundamental components that affect interactions with others, which can cause disruptions in our lives and our workplaces. These four components are an organizing framework for conversations, decision-making, goal setting, or treatment planning. Sort of a change roadmap, so to speak. SELF is a way of ordering complexity. It is dynamic and nonlinear. These are phases to move in and out of, not stages to climb. It's an accessible language that helps to get everyone on the same page, and SELF can be adapted for children, adults, families, staff, and organizations.
Another way to think about SELF is as a compass that helps to guide the way to attaining safety in self, relationships, and environment, to the future and trying out new roles, ways of relating, and behaving as a survivor to ensure personal safety and to help others, to emotions and identifying various levels of emotion or modulating emotion in response to memories, persons, or events, and to manage loss by feeling grief and dealing with personal losses, recognizing that all change involves loss. Let's take a moment to look more closely at each of these domains.
The first domain we'll look at is safety. We must feel safe to do the hard work of growing and healing. But what exactly do you need to feel safe enough? This will inevitably be different for each person and situation. Safety can be divided into 4 categories. First, physical safety is when your body is safe from physical harm. Physical safety includes the absence of all forms of violence, avoidance of risk-taking, and healthy practices. Next, psychological safety is when you are safe within yourself. Psychological safety is also about being comfortable with your own thoughts and feelings. Also, social safety. This is when you are safe with other people. Social safety is about feeling safe expressing your opinions and needs or connecting to others without having to worry about repercussions. Last, moral or ethical safety is when you and others are safe and consistent with your conscience, beliefs, and values.
Emotion. It is important to address the feelings that we are experiencing regarding changes that we may be going through. When we recognize what those feelings are, we're better able to handle emotions in non-harmful ways. Trauma can also leave us feeling numb or unsafe expressing emotions. So, discussing emotions in safe, supportive environments promotes healthy emotional regulation. Sometimes, feelings and emotions can seem big and overwhelming, but if you can name it, you can tame it.
Loss. All change involves loss, even if the change being addressed is an exciting, positive one. When addressing new changes, it's important to acknowledge and grieve past losses or traumas to work against getting stuck in the past. It is healthy to acknowledge how our past impacts our present in order to see dysfunctional patterns and disrupt those so they can be replaced with new, healthy skills.
Future. Looking at the future gives us the opportunity to find inspiration that pulls us towards our goals and where we want to be eventually. When we look at the future ahead of us, we're able to become active participants in our lives and our direction. Trauma can make us feel stuck and in our situation, but imagining the future gives us the opportunity to believe that things can be different. Hope is a central part of assessing the future and the role we play in getting us to where we want to be.
We have just walked you through a lot of information about what self is. Now let's talk for just a brief moment about how self can be applied. As we discussed earlier, self can be applied or adapted to situations and circumstances involving individuals, involving families, organizations, or even systems. You may, for example, decide to do a brief self inventory before you go grocery shopping to think about what emotions you may be experiencing, or to consider how safe you feel at the location you'll be visiting. A caregiver may self-challenging behaviors they're facing with their child, such as trying to ensure that homework is completed on time, by walking through each domain of self, either independently or even together with their child.
Keep in mind, sometimes even good change can feel frightening. Change always equals some sort of loss, and we have to feel safe enough and hopeful enough to take the risk of change. This risk paves the way to growth, and growth leads to healing. Let's revisit our dramatization from the beginning of this video and explore how self could have been applied in a situation like this.
Hey folks. Sorry I'm late. Where are we at?
Well, we've yet to start, honestly. We were worried about your safety, and that's kept us distracted from beginning the meeting. Before we move on, can we take a minute to talk about it?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah, we've been feeling a tad worried and a bit upset that you were following your pattern of being late again.
Uh, yeah, I was just feeling so distracted by things at home and somehow I lost track of time.
It really is a loss for us to miss out on scheduled time in our day. And to be honest, I'm starting to feel like we're not always able to count on you.
Okay.
I agree. Is it reasonable to request in the future maybe to get a text or a heads up from you if you're going to be running late?
Yeah, no, that's real. That's fair.
Yeah, that would really help me in the future. Would also help us as a team to know if you're safe or if you need one of us to check in with you.
Wow. Okay. That's fair. I will do my best moving forward and try better with your guys' advice. I'm really glad that you both felt comfortable addressing this with me. Thanks. So let's dive in. Let's get started.
All right, great. So yesterday we were